welcome back to Nothing Nerdy. My name is Frankie, and I'm here with the Inspector Who Reacts, and we're here to talk about Part 8, the last episode of the Ahsoka series. At least for Season 1. Who knows if there'll be a Season 2. I forgot to change the background picture. We've still got Hera and C-3PO from last week. Oh well.
I mean, Hera made a cameo in this episode.
She did. You know what? While we're talking, I'm gonna multitask and I'm gonna get another picture. Hold on. But anyway, yeah. So great episode.
This is an interesting finale.
It was.
It was definitely a cliffhanger.
Yeah. But we kind of, you know, we all kind of had a feeling that something along these lines was going to happen, where like at least somebody was going to get left behind. You know, more than likely Ahsoka. I
will say I am surprised at who got left behind and who actually got back home.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely a surprise. Oh yeah.
There we go.
You know what? Since we're just talking about the Hera cameo, and spoiler alert for the end of the episode and everything, Ezra makes it back. Why did he exit with that stormtrooper? Was he just trying to be dramatic?
Well, you want to know something? I had a feeling he was going to take the armor. Because he could have just thrown that other guy off the ship. Like, instead he answered his comm and he, like, held on to, like, he was, like, hanging close to him. I'm like, he's done it before. He's going to do it again.
I understand him wearing the armor on the Imperial ship, but why exit in front of all these rebels wearing stormtrooper armor? Like, imagine if he gets back home and immediately gets blasted.
I mean, it was certainly a risk.
It's weirdly enough the only one who recognized him was Chopper.
Yeah, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, did he sense it? Like,
and man, I will say this show definitely like cuts the reunions too soon or something like that.
I know. I'm like,
because
sorry, go ahead.
You know, well, I was gonna say like Hera and I would say Hera and Ezra reunion was really nice, and it really felt like that big dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
They finally see each other again, but they like cut away right before they actually hug and embrace. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I was like, you know, as soon as we saw them, as soon as, you know, he takes off the helmet and she sees him and the look on her face, I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, you know, it wasn't a big deal with Sabine. It wasn't a big deal with Ahsoka. I was like, okay, now we're going to have our moment where we have this exciting reunion. No, they just completely cut away from it.
Yep. Hasn't even meet Jake. I thought the same thing. I'll be honest, I think this show needed one more episode that was a slower episode just to have a catch up with everything.
Oh, but people had complained about it. It's a filler episode.
Yeah, but you know what? It would have definitely felt like, because I feel like there was a lot of things that we kind of didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely felt very rushed in some parts of it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like personally we were left on a cliffhanger with a lot of things not sure what to expect next.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious now, what if like we do get a season 2 of Ahsoka, but it's just Ahsoka's side of things, and Ezra and Hera get their own show, like the Rebels side, Thrawn side of things is their own show. So it's 2 shows. Ahsoka with Balon and Shin, and Ezra and Thrawn's side is a different show with the Mandalorian.
I mean, that would certainly be very cool. I mean, again, there are a lot of different ways they can continue these stories, you know. They could do shows. They could, this could tie into the movies, or comic books. There's a lot they could do with it, and hopefully they will.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely. It did need like. I felt like, man, there was just so much more we could have gotten now that it's like we had it, and it's one of those things where I feel like we had a lot we had was good, but man, I felt like we needed more because I I'm excited for what the next season brings. Especially, we were left on a cliffhanger with Balon and Shin, like what they were going to be doing because like Shin's going to be getting building her own army with the mercenaries or something,
Mm-hmm.
and Balon's looking for something related to the Mortis gods or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because we saw the statues.
Yeah. And Ahsoka's owl.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, we had. Yeah, so. But. Okay, so back to the beginning of the episode. Uh. I was very curious because, again, I was curious. So they needed to stop Thrawn, but they decided to go really slow with the Turtle group or something. It was like Ezra gonna bring his army with him or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of wondering what I didn't feel that urgency to get back to Thrawn or stop him when they were just cruising. But I guess Ezra needed to build his lightsaber, which that was a good scene.
Yeah, I was glad. I was wondering how that was going to work. Like, was he going to take, oh, hold on a second. I'm being summoned. I'm sorry.
Oh. They've summoned her. Who's they? I don't know. Maybe it's Madigan. Madigan has her own phone now. How many times?
Sorry about that. I told you to I guess she says sorry for asking for some coffee. How dare you?
Ezra's lightsaber. That's what we're.
Oh, right. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, I was glad that they had him build one because I was trying to figure out how that was going to work. Like, I mean, Sabine had his whole old lightsaber. Like, was she just going to give it back and she was going to build one? Or, like, was one of them going to be defenseless in the finale? Like, I don't know. Like, eased my anxiety.
Yeah. I was actually, it kind of felt funny, though, to me, how it was like he rejected the lightsaber from Sabine, but then decided to build his own.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he was like, maybe I do need a lightsaber.
It would be helpful.
Oh. But I like how he takes Kanan's saber inspiration. That's what he wanted to build this time, which was really sweet.
Yeah, and how Hu Yang gave him, like, the other part. Like, Kanan had one part and he had the other. I was like, oh.
So it is a piece of Kanan in his saber.
Yep, it's perfect.
And I think, and I don't know if this is true, but it's a possibility that maybe Ahsoka had Ezra's crystal from that time she fought Vader and he lost his first saber. She might have grabbed the crystal from that, so it could be Ezra's old blue crystal that he's using again.
Maybe.
With his new saber. Because I was like, where do you get the crystal from?
Mm-hmm.
Unless Hu Yang like has a ton of spares.
Well, maybe there's some on that planet. And he found one. Or I mean,
that's true. He could have Yeah, maybe. If the Night Sisters Like that could be interesting because I guess like forest planets have a lot of crystals on them, so that could make sense.
Hu Yang totally mansplained Caleb is Kanan too. He did.
Yeah, I found that a little funny how it was. I don't know. It was really kind of common like Kane, Hu Yang had to explain to Ezra who Kanan or Caleb was. I was like, hey, you you know this. You don't have to explain it. You know he's from the Jedi Temple. You know he trained Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, so Ezra has his saber again, has his own saber, and uh, we I guess we learn a little more about. We do get a little more explanation about Sabine and Ezra's breakup per se. But so it had something to do, which we knew that it had something to do with her family being destroyed by the Purge, which I guess is the Mandalorian
Oh,
Purge
speaking of
that happened
Ahsoka,
with
yeah.
Moff Gideon and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, but it seems I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but it seems like maybe it was after that when Sabine wanted to get Jedi training. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't before that, it was after that. And apparently that Ahsoka was like, no, she's too angry right now. I can't train her.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I understand. I kind of I get why she was like that.
Mm.
Sabine isn't. I don't know if I isn't what I would say like in the best mood at that point to be Jedi trained.
Yeah.
Especially if she could wield the Force, which we see she can.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty exciting.
That was um very interesting, and I'm a little surprised at how not quickly she's able to use it, but how I guess strong she's already is with it or
Mm-hmm.
something. But I guess in a way she has been training for this. It's just now she's past that last barrier that's been blocking her,
Yeah.
and now she can, and she has experience from watching Ezra and Kanan that she already knows how the Force works per se, or at least knows how to use. Like Ahsoka's trained her, and she's seen Jedi, so she, just whatever the Force flows through her, she just uses it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's only used it to pull and push things. So I'm curious to see where she goes with that. It was definitely a surprise to actually see it real, see her actually be a Jedi or get some Force powers.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was like you jump and I'll push you, and I'm like, really? Like so you just got the Force like 5 seconds ago, and you're gonna push Ezra to his potential death.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. I was kind of like, oh, is that really a good idea? But I mean, he got there.
Yep. And yeah. And we're just going backwards here. So we had the whole Night Sister zombie troopers, which was wild.
Yeah, they were kind of creepy. Like they killed them all, and
They
then
were.
the Night Sisters were
Yeah,
like,
and they
we're
were.
gonna bring it back from the dead.
Yeah, I like that kind of strategy where it was like the point was to make them think they won, so it
Mm-hmm.
was like an ambush or a way to slow them down. And
Mm-hmm.
then once they defeated them, then they just rose them back up to keep the fight, keep slowing them down. So
Mm-hmm.
even if they like, I felt like okay at that point you need to start like chopping limbs and stuff because that's the only way you're gonna slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
You're you're not like blasters aren't working anymore. Uh, and and then we have actually I was this was a real there was a really good fight between Morgan and Ahsoka in this episode. Like they had a really good fight.
Yeah, well, that sword was pretty cool. That was from
Yeah,
that was from Mother Talzin. Um,
yeah. So like the Clone Wars
mm-hmm.
sword or something that she used. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I
And
love how they
yeah,
tied that in.
yep. And the choreography and everything during that whole fight with Ahsoka, that felt so good. It was like long shots, lots of lots of moves that were very fluid,
Mm-hmm.
and some martial arts in there too. And what was uh, and Ahsoka, and even Ahsoka like actually loses her saber
Yeah.
too during this fight. She loses her short saber, which is like, oh man, it's like Morgan has like 2 for 2 been knocking away Ahsoka's sabers.
Mm-hmm.
First in the Mandalorian, and then in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and eventually, so after Sabine and Ezra gets onto the Thrawn ship with the help of Sabine, and they, but Sabine decides to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will say at the end of this, I'm like, okay, cool. We've just swapped places. Like now we have to go back and rescue Sabine
Mm-hmm.
and Ezra, or Sabine and Ahsoka, and, because now Ezra's back, and so we have to wait another like I don't know when Rebels ended. We have to wait like another like 5 to 10 years for as somebody to come rescue Sabine and Ezra, and then they get trapped here, and so Sabine and Ahsoka go back.
But
And
I
then we
don't
have
know.
to go rescue them in another 10 years.
Unless there's something
It's
like
like this
I'm.
planet is cursed.
Mm-hmm. Unless there's something I'm not
Like somebody
understanding.
has to come back.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. I'm sorry.
Unless there's something I'm not understanding, like I, why can't Ahsoka and Sabine and Hu Yang like hang out in their ship outside the planet, wait for another whale to come back, go back in the whale like they did, like the same way they got there, and just go back?
I think that's probably a possibility because the Night Sisters did it. They just have to wait for whale season.
Mm-hmm. Whale
Something.
season.
Um, I was also surprised at like how easily the TIE fighters just shot the ship down. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, really? You didn't have shields up or anything? I was like, come on. And then oh, I'm thinking backwards this whole time.
Yeah, well, we do these things out of order.
But
It's okay. It's our style.
that's
Uh,
how Star Wars does it. We start with the original trilogy, and
yeah.
then we go to the prequel trilogy, and then we come back to the sequel.
Mm-hmm. The Night Sisters gave a little reward to Morgan.
Yeah, they buffed her. They
Yeah.
buffed her up into,
um, that was so creepy. Like just leading up to that moment, it's like
yeah.
they're gonna do something to her, but you don't know what it is, and the music was creepy, and they were just slowly approaching her. I'm like, are they gonna like rip her heart out? Like, what's gonna happen?
They just give her the tattoos, the markings, and the power buff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was. I'm like again, like I'm glad we're getting a little more Night Sister stuff.
Yeah.
Although I did see a joke or something about like how here's Morgan, who is a Night Sister, but she's having like she has trouble facing Ahsoka. She doesn't really like have a lot of power. We see her wield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has power, but she doesn't have like an extreme amount of it or something. And then we have like another Night Sister, Mara, who like raises army and rules like the planet, and she's like a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, I guess she is able to communicate across galaxies, but it was just one of those things where it's like one of these is not like the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and actually going to the ending when Thrawn escapes, they're going to Dathomir.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Dathomir has more corpses for them to bring an army of undead with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have even more of I think this is Thrawn's zombie army is his whole goal here. He's gonna have bring the zombie apocalypse in time for Halloween.
Yeah, right. And then like he like Thrawn tells her like like we need more time, so Morgan, you're gonna have to take one for the team.
Yeah.
And he's like, for the Empire. She's
He,
like, for Dathomir.
he he's I do like how Thrawn, like his goal is to he knows he's probably like his goal is of course to defeat them, but he knows that he can't. The best is to slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. It's so interesting seeing like his little bit of frustration, where he's just like, "Come on, like, why don't you?" It's like
Mm-hmm.
they're. It's like he's like, I can beat you, but why aren't you dying?
Yeah.
And yeah, so he has to like sacrifice a good regiment of troops, and he has to sacrifice Morgan in order to finally get the his Star Destroyer out of here. Which I was curious why he didn't leave with his Star Destroyer already, but I think it's because his Star Destroyer probably isn't like powerful enough to leave the planet,
Mm-hmm.
so it needed the ring to come down to pick it up to get it
Yeah.
out of there. That's probably why they had to. But the ring had to come to them. They can go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, once that's yeah, so Sabine stays behind, like chooses to stay with Ahsoka, and lets Ezra go. Just like we just got here. Now you're already like sending him away. Come on.
Yeah.
But they try to catch up with Thrawn's ship, but aren't able to. And Thrawn gets back home. Gets back across the galaxy. So now it's up to Ahsoka and Sabine to take care of the turtle crabs, the Noti.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. Like of the main things that happened in this episode.
Yeah. Um and again, they're leaving it open for a lot of stories to be told.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to see because again I've been waiting for what Balon was and Shin were going to do, and I was kind of surprised again, like that they were not on the radar until the end of the episode. Like the main focus was Thrawn, which I understand, but it was kind of interesting how it's like, wait, where's Balon? And then finally they show up at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be basically Ahsoka and Sabine's problems,
Yeah.
both Shin and Balon. And this is I guess this is like Dave Filoni has a whole new galaxy that is like here's my Filoni galaxy, and you guys have your Star Wars.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka can't interfere with heir to the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we just have Ezra, Hera, Zeb, Chopper, Han, Luke, Leia, maybe Lando. They'll have to deal with Thrawn.
Yep.
And yeah, we have with Ezra back, we have confirmation. We have somebody to prove that Thrawn is back.
Yep.
Which is going to be nice. We're going to have at least a way to prepare for the coming battles.
It'd be cool if they did a Shin spin-off,
Okay. That was another thing. I was actually surprised there was no like extra credits at the end of the episode. Like I thought there would be something.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't any. And also I thought I saw trailers of like Anakin in the past or something.
Oh, we
I
forgot to talk
can't.
about
I
Anakin.
just
Did we talk about Anakin? I don't think we did. Sorry, continue.
not yet. But I thought I saw like trailers for Ahsoka showing like Hayden Christensen in Attack of the Clones um look, and I haven't seen the trailers. I just saw like clips or snippets or something.
Well, I
I
assume
don't
that
know if those
was.
are like
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if those are like Kenobi
Yeah,
clips that they just reused
that's
because I thought that
Go ahead.
you go ahead.
I would say that was my assumption that was like unused footage or something, just so that they didn't have
I
to
see.
show anything.
Yeah, I thought that it was gonna be like like when especially when Anakin showed up, he was gonna show Ahsoka in a flashback
Mm-hmm.
how he knew Balon, so we would actually see like a young Balon with Attack of the Clones or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, okay, I guess that was not what I thought. That did not happen at all. So I hope we get again more of Balon, and it looks like we are going to get more Balon. And I wish the very best to whoever has to replace her.
If that's what they choose to do, I mean, I hope so, because it sounds like a really great story, where the direction they were going in. I hope they, I mean, it's sad, but I hope they find someone to replace him instead of just writing him out of the story completely.
Yeah, no, I don't. He's too good to be written out.
But
And
but what they could do is maybe Shin finds him dead, and it leads her on this wild goose chase, this whole adventure, trying to figure out, well, what happened to my master, and what was it that he was searching for?
mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be interesting.
Maybe, yeah,
Anakin made fun of him
yeah.
in Jedi school.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do or what they could do. Um, I mean, it's not. In a weird way to say this, it's not like it would be too difficult to find somebody to take up the mantle. It's just I know I just it's and I again I want to see this character continue because of the honestly the amazing work that Ray Stevenson did. I would hate to see that get just unfinished in a weird way because
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like Dumbledore in a way,
Mm-hmm.
like how they had to replace Dumbledore's actor. It's he's almost too important to just write off.
Mm-hmm.
So hope, but I think they'll do all right, or I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I am. Oh, what am I thinking? Anything else? Oh, it does. I think we might be getting that. I think the thing that Balon is looking for is the is definitely something related to the Mortis gods.
Yeah.
The father, the brother, or the sister,
Mm-hmm.
or the son or the daughter, and it might be the mother. It might be the Abeloth or whatever the mother basically the one
Uh-huh.
because we have the father who's the mother.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah. I even it's just this wild crazy crack idea I was thinking about. But what if because okay, there's been theories or ideas that Anakin is now the father, like he's the balance, he's taking up that mantle now.
He's a daddy.
Yeah, always. And maybe Ahsoka could be the daughter now.
Maybe. Her spirit is
and
within her, so.
Don't know who the son could be. I don't think Luke would take that mantle. Ben? You think Ben could be this? Kylo?
Me? I don't know, maybe.
But I was the crazy crack theory I thought is, what if they got Natalie Portman to play the mother, play the and it would be basically not like it wouldn't be Padme, it would just be Natalie Portman. It would be her face, so it'd be Anakin versus Padme. It's like she would be the mother of all this.
If they give her a lot of money.
Too crazy. But I mean, it's a way to bring Natalie Portman back and not put her in Padme. She'd be this. She'd get to be like some crazy Force user.
Yeah.
So that would be wild. And if this entity comes into our galaxy, it could be a twisted way for Luke and Leia to meet their mother or see their mother. It's like bring Natalie Portman to that. I don't. It'd just be crazy. Having it almost gives me like, you know, when Wanda goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's wild that I would like to see. It would just be. It would be wild if they did, because in a weird, how would you scare Anakin? You bring his wife and wear his wife's face.
Mm-hmm.
I think even that would unsettle him,
Yeah.
even in his ultimate power.
Monster versus Natalie. That is a contradiction, sir.
I don't know, she can act scary sometimes when she's serious. I'd like to see it, honestly. But yeah, I don't know what. Again, this is all like crack theories of the future, but we do have at the end of this whole episode, we have Anakin's Force Ghost, and he has a presence out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty cool. You see her looking out in the distance, like very happy, and Sabine like thinks she sees something for a second, but then she does it, and then you look out what Ahsoka was looking at, and it was Anakin looking so proudly out over his little Padawan all grown up.
Yeah, so it's so cool seeing more of his Force Ghost. I'd see more of him post Vader, basically, with seeing him redeemed. My brother did bring up an interesting thought, like, what if, because there was that weird, because if it was Anakin, like, that makes sense, but what if Sabine, like, sensed or saw something else? Like, what if she was seeing the thing that Balon is looking for?
Maybe.
Because Sabine, again, has that dark side potential in her, so maybe she's closer to sensing that than Ahsoka would be.
That's an interesting point. Could be.
So, yeah, so I'm curious if that's it, but it makes sense if it was implying that what she was sensing was Anakin too. But yeah, trying to think of. Yeah, no, again, this is just like a epic final battle in this episode, so there wasn't a whole lot of details or nuance I guess to chat about.
Yeah, no, it was a very good episode, so, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the rest of this story is going to tell, because this was honestly a really good show. Like it's definitely up there with the other Star Wars shows that I've enjoyed. And it's not there's not much left to talk about.
Yeah, no, that's really it.
Episode in this, but I really enjoyed what this show has given us, especially like with the Rebels stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of wish we had gotten more. I feel like that's the only thing I was disappointed with, was because I felt like we didn't get enough of this. We needed more especially between like Ezra's interactions with Ahsoka and Hera and Sabine. Like, we needed more of that. And I also feel like Sabine hasn't like basically this is Sabine's fault that Thrawn is back,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't feel like she's um, feeling the consequences or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if that will again, like her purpose now is here on this planet dealing with Balon and Shin.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what that leads to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now she's a Jedi. Now she has the Jedi powers on her, which again I'm still not 100% sure if I like it or not. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel it feels just weird seeing her with powers now.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's also like just not the Sabine I was so used to. It, yeah, I don't know. It, yeah, I'm excited for what they do in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, she can start her Mandalorian Jedi school with Grogu if she gets back.
Yeah. That'd be cute.
Yeah. But
All right.
that is
That's
it
really
for
everything. So we
yeah.
appreciate you all joining us on this journey as we just, watched all 8 episodes, and we'll see what
Yeah,
comes next. So we will be
really,
back.
really, really, really good time with this.
Mm-hmm.
And don't know what the next thing is,
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars or otherwise.
Yep.
We'll figure that out
Yeah.
and let you all know.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening, and we will catch you on the next stream. Bye, everyone.